Imagine finding out you're being sued. And then just days later, everything about the case changes forever. That's exactly what happened in one of hip-hop's most emotional legal stories this year. A private letter from Sexyy has now surfaced, and it's giving fans an entirely different perspective on the royalty lawsuit involving the late producer Tay Keith. In the letter, she says she was appalled to learn she had been named as a defendant, insists the dispute wasn't personal, and even shares what Tay Keith allegedly told her before his passing. But as more details came out, fans realized this story wasn't nearly as straightforward as it first appeared. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Sexyy wrote an emotional letter to the judge on June 6, 2026, only days before Tay Keith's death. At the time, Tay Keith was involved in a lawsuit over unpaid royalties connected to music he produced for Sexyy. The lawsuit claimed he worked on 13 songs in 2024 without receiving payment. When many people first heard about the lawsuit, some assumed it was a direct dispute between the artist and her longtime producer. But the newly revealed letter paints a very different picture, and that's where things became much more interesting. In her letter, Sexyy explains that she had only recently learned she was personally named as a defendant. She tells the judge she was both surprised and hurt by the allegations, writing that she was appalled by the situation. She goes on to explain that, as an artist, she doesn't personally handle producer payments. According to her, those financial responsibilities are managed by the record label. She asked the court to remove her name from the lawsuit immediately because she believed she wasn't the party responsible for royalty negotiations. But that wasn't the only part of the letter that caught everyone's attention. One of the most emotional moments comes when Sexyy talks about her relationship with Tay Keith. Rather than describing him as someone she was in conflict with, she calls him a great working partner and an even greater friend. She says they collaborated on numerous successful records and had built a strong professional relationship over the years. Then she reveals something many fans didn't expect. She claims there are several songs she recorded with Tay Keith that she herself hasn't been paid for yet. According to her, payments are often delayed until labels recover their costs, and she believed everyone involved was simply following that process. What happened next surprised a lot of fans. Perhaps the biggest revelation in the letter is Sexyy's claim that Tay Keith himself questioned why she had been included in the lawsuit. According to her account, he allegedly told her he wasn't sure why she had been named as a defendant. While that statement reflects Sexyy's version of their conversation, it quickly became one of the most talked about parts of the story. If accurate, it suggests the disagreement may never have been personal between the artist and the producer. Instead, it points toward a much larger issue involving contracts, royalty agreements, and record label responsibilities. But there was even more that supported that idea. Shortly after the letter became public, representatives connected to both sides shared statements that added important context. A representative for Tay Keith reportedly said the dispute was primarily between the respective record labels and that naming Sexyy in the lawsuit was considered a legal formality rather than a personal accusation against her. Meanwhile, an attorney representing the label explained that royalty negotiations are handled by labels, not artists, and stated that discussions to fully compensate Tay Keith for his contributions were already underway before his passing. While the legal process continues, these statements have shifted much of the public conversation away from personal conflict and toward the complicated business side of the music industry. But fans had plenty to say once these details surfaced. Across social media, reactions have been emotional. Many fans described the letter as heartbreaking, especially knowing it was written only days before Tay Keith's death. Others said it highlighted how quickly public opinion can form before all the facts become available. Some viewers believe artists are often blamed for business decisions that are actually controlled by labels and contracts. Others argue that regardless of who negotiates payments, royalty disputes expose ongoing problems with transparency in the music industry. At the same time, many people praise the respectful way Sexyy spoke about Tay Keith, noting that she never attacked him personally and instead referred to him as both a trusted collaborator and a friend. And that's why this story continues to resonate beyond the courtroom. The case has also sparked broader conversations about how music royalties actually work. Behind every hit song is a long list of producers, writers, publishers, labels, and business agreements that most fans never see. When payments are delayed or disagreements arise, legal action sometimes becomes the only way to resolve those issues. Stories like this remind audiences that what looks like a dispute between two well-known artists may actually involve much larger contractual relationships happening behind the scenes. While fans naturally focus on the celebrities involved, the real negotiations often take place between companies, attorneys, and rights holders. That reality has become one of the biggest takeaways from this developing story. As for what happens next, the legal proceedings are expected to continue through the courts. It remains unclear how the judge will respond to Sexyy Red's request to remove her as a defendant, and additional court filings could provide more details in the coming weeks. Representatives have indicated that the central issues involve royalty payments and contractual obligations, and any final outcome will ultimately depend on the legal process. Until then, fans will likely continue following every update as new information becomes available. In the end, this story became about much more than a lawsuit. A private letter that was never meant for the public has revealed a side of the situation that many people hadn't considered. Instead of a personal feud, the documents and public statements suggest a far more complicated business dispute centered on royalty responsibilities. At the same time, the timing of the letter, written only days before Tay Keith's death, has given the story an emotional weight that few expected. Whether you're following the legal case, the music industry, or simply the careers of everyone involved, one thing is certain: this conversation is far from over. So what do you think? Do artists receive too much blame for royalty disputes that are largely handled by record labels, or should they still be held accountable when their names appear in these cases? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update and want more breaking celebrity news explained with all the latest developments, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.